My name is Tia Miles, and I'm a senior at Northwestern High School this year. The title of my independent research study is Antimicrobial Activity of Medicinal Herbs Against Select Human Pathogenic Bacteria. So jumping right into my abstract, antimicrobial properties are found in a variety of bacteria-killing medications such as antibiotics and medicinal herbs. So medicinal herbs have been used back pre-colonial times whenever over-the-counter drugstore drugs were not available to them. This was their source of medication. So within this study, 4 known herbs for possessing antimicrobial properties were tested against 3 different strains of human pathogenic bacteria. All 3 strains were a different strain of the strep virus that is commonly known. The 4 herbs tested were echinacea, catnip, mullein, and calendula. Those are all very wide-known herbs for possessing those bacteria-killing agents. One of my reasons for picking echinacea actually was because my family swears by echinacea. We get sick. My mom said, "Pop an echinacea, take some echinacea root." It's always worked for my family. This is what this study was kind of testing to see if that's just like a placebo effect or if it actually has those bacteria killing properties that the bottle and the manufacturers claim it has. So the hypothesis of this study is that the selected herbs are hypothesized to have antimicrobial properties. Therefore, it is expected that the plant produces molecules that will inhibit the growth of the plant. It is possible that the extraction method that we use won't sufficiently extract the compounds, which might result in a null result. So, jumping into the variables of this study, the independent variables are the herbal samples, and the dependent variables are the bacteria growth on the agar plates. So that is a dependent variable because once you lay that herb that supposedly possesses those antimicrobial properties, there should be no bacterial growth on that agar at all. If it actually has those active bacteria-killing agents that it claims it does. Okay, so a little bit of background research. Catnip and echinacea are commonly known medicinal herbs. I've already stated that. So catnip is native to Central Europe and belongs in the mint family. Actually, a lot of people don't know that catnip actually is in the mint family. Catnip you can use it as a garnish on meals. I don't know why you'd want to, but catnip is widely known and widely used throughout the world. So echinacea has 9 different species, all native to North America, which is commonly used by North Americans and is now used as a dietary supplement for the common cold. Like what I was saying, whenever I start feeling sick, I take an echinacea. So with researching, I also decided to better critique my knowledge on antibiotic resistance. So it doesn't really fall in the same category, but it's good to know everything about the topic you're working with. So I am very knowledgeable in antibiotic resistance because I've covered it in class a lot, and I did a lot of existing research just for this study, just because. So jumping right into the materials that you'll need. You're going to need 2 grams of every herbal supplement. So 2 grams catnip, 2 grams of echinacea, 2 grams of mullein, 2 grams of calendula. You're going to need some samples of all the bacterial cultures, so the 3 different strains of that strep virus. You're going to need 80 milliliters of water, 80 milliliters of a methanol in water solution. So that's 50-50 methanol, 50 water, sterile water. And you're going to dilute that methanol with the water, and that just dilutes it down so it's not as methanol-y. You're going to need agar and then petri dishes for those agar plates. You're going to need an accessible incubator and centrifuge. You're going to need multiple sterile swabs to apply those bacterial culture swabs. You're going to need some small filter discs that we're going to use to soak in that antimicrobial property solution. And then a mortar and pestle. That's very important because if you just get a gram of the herbs, they're not broken up, and all those micromolecules are not broken up enough to release all those potential antimicrobial properties that they could hold. Okay, so leading right into the procedure, take a gram of each herb and grind by hand in that mortar and pestle, and then you're going to, for the first round, add 10 milliliters of water, the sterile water solution, to every single sample. And then you're going to repeat step 1, which was the grinding of another gram. And then you're going to add 10 milliliters of the water, 50 methanol solution to those. You're then going to incubate overnight at 50 degrees. Make sure it's 50, not 40, not 60. It needs to be 50, or else your bacteria will roast in the incubator, or it won't be hot enough to grow. So after you have that incubated overnight, you're going to centrifuge into plant pellet material. We don't want the actual plant material. We just want that solution it was soaking in overnight in that incubator, because that is what will hold our antimicrobial activity, possibly. So then you're going to swab bacterial cultures on those agar plates that you have made pre-ahead. Add those plant liquids soaked filter discs onto the petri dish. Incubate overnight again at 50 degrees. Next day, analyze plates and measure zones of inhibition. So zones of inhibition are that little area around your little disc that you should put in there. And if they do possess those properties, those bacteria-killing properties, there should be a little circle around your disc that has no bacteria growth at all. None at all. So bouncing over to our results. So directly following the overnight incubation of the bacterial cultures with a solution-soaked filter disc, no zones of inhibition were actually observed, which, boo. Which correlates to the conclusion that the selected medicinal herbs in low concentrated liquids do not possess any antimicrobial activity. Therefore, the study failed to accept the alternative hypothesis, but accepted the null. So these are just 3 charts. Each bacterial strand, every test we did, one with just water, and then one with the methanol too. And then it shows all their mean activity, all their standard deviations, and all their interval estimation at 5% level of significance. And with that being said, that will lead me right into my statistical analysis. So by applying a t-test, it can be seen that the calculated t-value is less than the tabled value at 20 degrees of freedom, with a significance level of 0.05, so 5%. Hence the assumption that the 2 extracts having the same activity is accepted, and the mean activity of the herbs against the 3 bacterial culture strains is significant. So with that being said, in conclusion, all of the herbal supplements in a low concentrated assay do not possess any antimicrobial properties against the 3 different strains of the strep virus. So upon completion of this study, I realized that next time, if I was to do this again, have more time, I would definitely change a lot of things. So first of all, my bacterial strains were very similar in structure, everything really. They work generally very similar. So I want to do 3 completely different bacterial cultures, like maybe some E. coli, maybe some anything, honestly, just that are 3 completely different. I think it would give me a much wider range. So my agar plates were a bit busy. With that being said, every agar plate had 2 tests of every liquid with those little filter-soaked dishes. Those were just very difficult to read and very difficult to analyze the next day, even if there was no zones of inhibition observed. Another thing I would like to change was I really do think that these herbs possess antimicrobial activity. Therefore, that was a very small, low concentrated dosage of those herbal extracts. I think if I was to do it again, I would add way larger, like not 1 gram, but maybe 6 grams or maybe 10 grams, just to bring out more of that antimicrobial properties that I believe they have. So after that, going into my references, I have 3 right here on my board, but they're all those medical journals, super credible sources, but I can only fit 3 on my board because they're extremely long. So C-Binder pages 20 through 21 for further references. And then jumping right into my acknowledgements, I would like to personally thank the College of Worcester for allowing me to conduct this study in their lab. I would also like to thank my mentor, Dr. Stephanie Strand, my advisor, Kelly Woodruff. They have both continuously helped me along the way and deserve my utmost gratitude. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you all have a blessed day, and please stay safe.